60s gave us Los Teen Tops shaking dance floors with raw rock and roll swagger, La Lupe igniting stages with volcanic soul, and Los Absson turning border town nights into electric youth anthems. But that was only the beginning. From iconic anthems to overlooked gems, these are 10 underrated 60s Latin bands who deserved way more fame. Number 10, Los Shakers from Uruguay.
I have ever asked you to be true to me.
Uruguay's Beatles-inspired phenomenon Los Shakers burst into the mid-60s with tight harmonies, crisp suits, and a sound so clean, it felt imported directly from Abbey Road. Yet behind the polished pop exterior was a band hungry to innovate. Their early sessions were reportedly done in marathon bursts, with engineers joking that they never stopped smiling or sweating. Although they gained strong regional radio play, they never broke fully into North America. Legend has it their label did not know how to market a South American rock group singing in English. Still, for countless teenagers across the Rio de la Plata, Los Shakers were the soundtrack of surfboards, soda shops, and long-hair rebellions. Today, vinyl collectors hunt their records like buried treasure and recognize how ahead of the curve their pop rock craft truly was. If that was sunshine pop, the next one comes in swinging with garage rock grit. Number 9, Los Speakers from Colombia. Bogotá's Los Speakers were the raw heartbeat of Colombia's underground rock movement, full of fuzzy riffs, hypnotic organs, and a rebellious streak that made conservative radio hosts wrinkle their noses. Their 1968 album sessions reportedly took place in a tiny room stacked with blankets for makeshift soundproofing, which created their unmistakable psychedelic haze. Despite their innovation, they faced an uphill battle. Colombian audiences were only beginning to warm up to rock en español, and promoters were not sure a trippy experimental band could fill halls. Fans remember nights where Los Speakers washed rooms in swirling colors and echoing guitars, and turned dance clubs into cosmic temples. Although they never reached mass commercial fame, their influence lived on in later Colombian alt-rock pioneers. Today, collectors whisper their name as one of the continent's boldest sonic explorers. Turn the dial up. This next band set its scene on fire. Number 8, Los Psychos from Peru. Straight out of Lima, Los Psychos delivered a sound that felt like a time machine crash landing from the future. Their 1965 singles, filled with wild shouts, jagged riffs, and pounding drums, sounded closer to proto-punk than polished pop. Legend has it that studio engineers were unsure whether to laugh, cheer, or cover their ears. Local crowds loved them, although industry support never followed. Labels reportedly feared their aggressive style was too much for mainstream stations. Still, kids in Miraflores copied their leather jacket swagger and backyard rebellion energy, turning every show into a volcanic street party. Decades later, punk historians rediscovered Los Psychos and called them one of the earliest punk bands in the world. What once sounded chaotic now sounds visionary. Different country, same rebel heartbeat. Our next group carried the torch. Number 7, Los Doultons from Peru. Los Doultons rode the smoother side of the Peruvian wave of the 60s, mixing melodic vocals with surf rock shimmer. Their gentle reverb lines felt like warm sunsets over the coast, a softer counterpart to the chaos of their punkish peers. Most accounts say their harmonies were so tight that they spent hours rehearsing in echo chambers to find the perfect blend. Even with strong local love, they never cracked major international markets. Timing, label limitations, and the tidal wave of United States and British acts made it difficult. Yet for listeners who tuned into late-night radio, their songs became emotional anchors filled with first crushes, slow dances, and seaside walks. Today, Los Doultons stand as proof that the Peruvian 60s scene had astonishing depth. from wild to wistful. One of the top 3 bands literally saved a career. The story behind our next band still sparks debate among fans. Number 6, Los Blue Caps from Venezuela. Venezuela's Los Blue Caps exploded in the early 60s with a twangy rock and roll sound filled with charisma. Their live sets were reportedly so intense that clubs kept extra fans to cool down sweating crowds. They delivered crisp guitar jabs, booming bass lines, and a lead vocal that could flip from playful croon to fiery shout in a heartbeat. Even so, they were overshadowed by the tidal wave of imported United States hits that dominated Venezuelan radio. Labels, unsure whether a local band could compete, kept marketing budgets thin. Their followers adored them regardless. You can almost hear the echo of those nights, neon lights humming, jukeboxes spinning, and teenagers glued to the stage. Their influence later rippled into the Venezuelan rock revival, where younger artists cited them as pioneers who proved that homegrown rock could shine. We have rocked hard enough, now let us slide into something moodier. Quick pit stop. If these classics still give you goosebumps, hit like so more Latin music lovers can find this journey. And stick around because the top bands are the ones that truly define the decade. Number 5, Los Teen Tops from Mexico. Los Teen Tops helped kick open the door for rock en español across Latin America. With Tony Viejo's unmistakable swagger on vocals and their sharp rhythmic guitar breaks, they turned translated United States hits into uniquely Mexican sensations. By most accounts, their early studio takes were recorded live with no overdubs, which created pure electric adrenaline. As massive as they were locally, global fame slipped away. Timing played a part. By the time international labels took Latin rock seriously, the 60s were fading and new trends dominated the airwaves. Still, for anyone who remembers youth clubs in Mexico City, Los Teen Tops symbolized freedom, denim jackets, and the start of something big. Their legacy continues as they planted the seeds for every Latin rock explosion that followed. If that was a spark, the next band was a lightning bolt. Number 4, Los Absson from Mexico. Hailing from the border towns of Sonora, Los Absson brought a desert edge to Latin pop rock. They blended United States influences with Mexican storytelling and turned familiar melodies into something richer and more rhythmic. Local lore claims their shows felt like backyard block parties filled with packed crowds, borrowed amps, and neighbors dancing in the streets. Their greatest obstacle was geography. Being far from Mexico City's industry center made it difficult to stay in the country's spotlight. However, when their songs hit the radio, they spread quickly and caught the ears of kids who felt caught between cultures. Los Absson gave them a sound that reflected exactly who they were, although they never achieved the international profile they deserved. Their border-blended style became a blueprint for future generations of rock acts that embraced Norteño influence. Now we climb. Our next band raised the bar for harmony and elegance. Number 3, Los Zodiacs from Spain. Madrid's Los Zodiacs shimmered with a polished pop-soul blend that felt ready for global charts. Their early hits featured horn lines reportedly recorded in single takes, which proved how tight their musicianship was. Their suave delivery and clean arrangements made them favorites on Spanish variety shows, yet they never truly crossed international borders. The heartbreaking part is that they had the right sound at the wrong time. As British beat and American soul surged, Spain's export channels were limited, which left Los Zodiacs under-promoted abroad. Yet their smooth vocals floated through countless Spanish youth parties, filling balconies and summer nights with warmth. Here is that teaser fulfilled. One of the top 3 bands literally saved a career. When a key member considered quitting music altogether, A sudden hit revived both the band's momentum and his passion. Now for a shift, same decade and completely different fire. Number 2, Los Brinkos from Spain. Often called Spain's Beatles, Los Brinkos mixed rock, folk, and traditional Spanish touches into something entirely their own. Their studio sessions reportedly stretched late into the night, full of meticulous experimentation such as hand claps, unusual percussion, and harmonies so silky they raised goosebumps through the glass booth. They should have become a global phenomenon. Internal disputes and management issues dimmed their spotlight, while British and American bands swallowed the world's attention. Yet for many listeners, especially those who fell asleep with transistor radios tucked under pillows, Los Brinkos were pure magic. Today, musicians cite them as early innovators who blended national identity with modern pop and paved the way for decades of Spanish rock. That takes us to a band whose story is legendary and controversial. Number 1, Los Belmonts from Mexico. Los Belmonts were masters of harmony. Their doo-wop sweetness blended perfectly with Latin warmth and created tender ballads and upbeat gems that danced between innocence and sophistication. Stories say their neighborhood rehearsals attracted crowds so large that passing cars slowed down just to listen. Their vocal blend was soft, bright, and instantly emotional. Despite regional success, broader fame slipped out of reach. Changing trends, uneven promotion, and the explosion of competing rock acts left them just outside the international spotlight. Here comes the twist. Our number 1 track split critics at release and later conquered the world. Some said they were too soft for the growing rock movement, yet fans embraced the warmth in every note. Their songs still live in jukeboxes, record collections, and the memories of anyone who ever swayed under dim lights to their harmonies. If that brought back memories, tap like and subscribe to keep the classics alive. From arena-shaking anthems to forgotten gems, these bands proved why Latin music's golden era will never die. Next up, the guitar solos that defined the 70s. It is waiting for you on screen.